Hi guys, Mark here with Walter's World, and we're in Paris, France. Behind me is the Notre Dame Cathedral. Probably one of the most famous sights you're going to see in this town. Definitely worth checking out, though you do have to deal with all the fun tour groups that come through here and the long line to get in, but it is definitely worth it. Now, today's video is, dun-dun-dun, the 5 things you're going to love and hate about visiting Paris, France. And guys, though I'll have 5 hates, really, even if they all are bad, you really should come anyway, because it is probably the most beautiful city in Europe and probably one of the most beautiful cities in the world, so you definitely need to come. But let's get to the bad news. Now, the first thing you're going to hate about when coming to Paris is there are lots of pickpockets and aggressive beggars when you're here, which can cause some problems for you, or at least some annoyances. You really need to be careful at the metro stops, especially at Gare du Nord, Gare d'Est, these kind of things, because you'll try to go into the metro and they'll follow you in. I know quite a few people that have lost wallets that way. The police have gotten much better, so the pickpocket and begging problem is not as pronounced as it used to be. But over the last 15 times I've been here, I have seen an improvement, but it still is a problem, and that will be one thing you don't like. Okay? The second thing you're not going to like about coming to Paris is the strikes. Now, you might get lucky and the strikes will not affect you, but it's 2012, 2013, there's still economic problems out there, and there are strikes going on to protest austerity measures and these kind of things, but strikes do happen in Paris, and whether it's the metro or the buses coming from the airports, these kind of things, you might be affected by it, though it's very little chance it will happen. But if it does, it can really kind of ruin your vacation. So be careful with that. So keep up to date if there's going to be any subway strikes or anything like that. Overall, it shouldn't be too much of a problem because they do a very good job of kind of keeping the tourists from being hurt by the strikes. Because obviously the strikes aren't about the tourists; they're about government policies. But you want to check out for that. The third thing you're going to hate about coming to Paris is it is expensive to stay here. You are not going to, for what you're going to pay here, you're going to expect a lot more than what you're going to get. If you come in expecting to share services, spend a lot of money, and have a very small room, you're going to be okay. But in general, you're going to spend more than you would in Rome for a room half the size. So just know that you're not going to like your hotel room, you're not going to be satisfied with it, and you're going to think you pay too much. But hey guys, that's part of coming to Paris. You do get the small rooms, you do share the facilities, these kind of things, okay? So just get used to that. Alright? The fourth thing you're not going to like about coming to Paris are the lines, especially for the Louvre and the Eiffel Tower. The lines can literally scare you off. Behind me here, we're at obviously Notre Dame, and there's a huge line here, and we're thinking, do we go, do we not go? Because Paris is so beautiful, you really don't have to go inside anything, though you should. But the lines can get a little overwhelming, and you don't really want to wait hours, but guys, the sights here are so nice, it's worth spending the time, but it will annoy you, okay? So the fourth thing is the lines, especially the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre. Here at Notre Dame it moves kind of quick, but it still is kind of annoying. And the fifth thing you're going to hate about coming to Paris, and probably by far why lots of people don't like France, or they say, oh, I had a horrible time in Paris, it's the service. Now here's the thing. People in Paris are actually really nice. It's a big city, but the people are very friendly and helpful. On the metro, all kinds of stuff. You talk to people in the streets, if you speak a little bit of French, it goes a long way. But people are really, really friendly and helpful. But something happens when they start to work in the service industry. You get on the metro, everyone's helpful, except for the service personnel. They're like, oh, you have children? Ah, we don't care. Could you help me? And other people help. You go to restaurants, they ridicule you. But you see them on the streets, they're super nice people. So guys, just be prepared for really crappy service. It's crappy, yes, but it's more offhand, like you feel like you're an annoyance to them when you're ordering, or hotels, these kind of things. So be careful with that, but just be prepared for it and don't let it ruin your trip, because that's just the way it is here. Okay, so the 5 things you're going to hate about coming to Paris, or that will annoy you when you're here. 1, the pickpockets and beggars on the metro stops and at the main train stations and sites. 2, strikes. Now they might not happen when you're here, but if they do, they can be a problem. 3, it's expensive to stay here, and the hotels aren't all what you're expecting to get. Well, you're expecting more for what you're going to pay. 4, the lines for the main tourist attractions can be very long and tedious, but hey, they're lines for a reason because it's amazing. And 5, the offhand service you're going to get when you're here in Paris, which I never understand why, because French people are actually really nice and really helpful, and they love their country and they want to share, but for some reason when they're in service they turn into dickheads, okay? So those are the 5 things you're going to hate. But what are you going to love about coming to Paris? Because there's so much you're going to love, okay? The first thing is the eating. Now look, I'm a fat guy because I love to eat, but if I lived in Paris I would be about 50 times fatter because the food here is amazing. All throughout France the food is great, but Paris has everything. They have from dishes from all over the country, plus all the colonies, all kinds of things. You will eat very, 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 very well here, okay? So come with an empty stomach and you will be happy, okay? All the restaurants have their menu du jour or whatever, so you can get your starter, your main dish, and your dessert, anywhere from 10 to 30 euros for the budget traveler, and it is well worth it. You will eat so well when you're here. And of course you got to have the traditional dishes like escargot, the snails. You can get frog legs, or there's beef. There's all kinds of great food here, so make sure you eat. Come here and eat, and also of course the wine, okay? So that's the first thing you're going to love. The second thing you're going to love about it is it's easy to get everywhere in here. There's a metro stop within 500 meters no matter where you are, which makes it awesome. Because you don't have to walk all over the place if you don't want to. Though I do recommend walking because the city is beautiful. But the metro goes everywhere. The public transportation will take you. You want to go to Versailles? You're there. You want to go to the Eiffel Tower? Boom, you're there. The Louvre? Boom, you're there. I mean, it's awesome. Now, I will warn you though, with the public transportation, if you have limited mobility or you're with children and stuff like that, it can be a little bit of pain because the people, again, the service side of it, not too helpful, but there's not the elevators and these kind of things, so if you're in a wheelchair or strollers, you will be doing a lot of extra lifting, okay? So be careful with that. Got my buddy Caleb here. And now the third thing you're going to love about coming here are the museums. Now the city has museums galore. The Louvre with the Mona Lisa. Anyone want to see the Mona Lisa?
Yes.
And what else is at the Louvre besides the Mona Lisa?
The Winged Victory.
Winged Victory and?
Venus de Milo.
And Venus de Milo. There's all kinds of great stuff. That's just at the Louvre. You go to Musée d'Orsay, you have Monet, Manet, Degas, all kinds of stuff. You want modern art? We've got that. There's all kinds of things over there. There's a Rodin Museum. Guys, there's more museums than you can shake a stick at. It's crazy here, and you're going to love it. So if you're an art lover or not an art lover, you will enjoy your time here in Paris, okay? The fourth thing you're going to love about coming to Paris is wandering the streets. Guys, you wander the town. I mean, you see the architecture in this city is amazing. But what's the coolest thing is when you wander the town and you see the Eiffel Tower. I've been to Paris, I'm not kidding. This is probably the 20th time I've been here, and still, to this day, I get the stupid tourist look when I see the Eiffel Tower for the first time. I'm wandering like, oh, there's the Eiffel Tower. And you get that dumb look, but it's so cool walking through the cities. You walk around, you see these boutique shops all over the place, and it's like, oh wow, hey look, there's a mini Statue of Liberty. There's all kinds of great stuff you're going to do here, and just wander around, whether it's the Montmartre by Sacré-Cœur, walking up there, or wherever you go, there's so much to see and do, and just strolling the streets, and just enjoying it all, and especially if you can walk along the Seine, walk along the river at night, with everything lit up, it is just beautiful. Of course, walking on the Champs-Élysées, there's all kinds of great stuff to wander along. And the fifth thing you're going to love about coming to Paris is sitting at a cafe and people watching. Because France is amazing for that. You sit there and you really feel like a local when you're there, sitting at the cafe having your coffee or your chocolate, hot chocolate, or your wine or whatever, and you just watch the world go by, because the atmosphere of the city is what you're going to love, because you really feel like this is a really metropolitan, avant-garde, beautiful city that you really feel a part of, and the atmosphere that comes with it. We're French, we're Parisians, and even if you're a tourist, you get that feeling too, and it's just something you're going to love. So the 5 things you're going to love when you come here to Paris: 1, eating and drinking in Paris. You will walk away 10 pounds, 5 kilos heavier, and so much happier, okay? Second thing you're going to love about it is you can get everywhere with the metro or the public transportation. It's fast, efficient, and goes all over the place, and cheap, which is also a very good thing. The third thing you're going to love are the museums galore all throughout the town. The fourth thing you're going to love is walking around town, whether it's along the Seine, the Champs-Élysées, wherever, especially at night. It's just a beautiful place. Taking in that Eiffel Tower for the first time, it is just amazing. And the fifth thing you're going to love about here is the atmosphere of the city, because it has that je ne sais quoi, the I don't know, that you come here and you're like, wow, you will fall in love with Paris, even if you have that crappy service and everything like that, because the city is to die for. So if you want to learn more about visiting Paris or France or Europe, learn a little French or other languages, check us out at our website at www.waltersworld.com. And please, like and favorite this video, and we'll see you again somewhere on our trips. Bye from Paris, France.